Okay, so I've had my coffee, and I go to my YouTube, and I see a comment. Finally, somebody responded to my videos, because you got to love that. So after this Fibonacci video that I posted, this guy says, well, you can't, and I'm not going to type an answer to this guy because I really can talk faster than I can type, and I'm kind of an impatient person. You contradict yourself in all of your over 500 or so videos. You talk about the same things all the time, only because it's me. If it was somebody else, I would definitely talk about, but hey, I'm open to topics. Nobody's ever thrown a topic out there. I try to go through the usual checklist of all of the indicators and all the cliches and everything we've all heard and been told traditionally. Trading is easy. Okay, trading's easy from the standpoint of all you have to do is hit a button. That's easy. Trading is for dumb people. Yes, because smart people, if you go to Bill Williams said this, that the reason why intelligent people lose money trading is that, well, intelligent people are attracted to trading because there's so much sophistication, there's so many numbers, there's so many Gartleys to worry about, there's so much kind of mysticism built around it, and overthinking stuff and too many indicators, overanalyzing can keep you out of a really good trade. So maybe dumb, you could also say people that trade on their gut. A lot of gut traders out there do real good. They're just like, hey, well, just gonna get in, gonna get out, gonna get in, gonna get out. And of course, maybe subconsciously they don't even know that they're just doing what they're supposed to do. Where an intelligent person is gonna, like, the higher your IQ is, the more you're gonna nitpick it and then look for the holy grail, really, because once you see kind of the dumbass entries, you'll be like, oh, okay, well, I see. Maybe I could fine tune that. But a lot of instances you can't. You can over optimize, and of course, optimization is not recommended. Who wasn't buying here? Yeah, I was buying there, and I was also getting stopped out there, and I was in scalping in there. In other words, I think he's referring to these situations where, yeah, the market's down at the bottom. Well, it takes a lot of balls to get in there, I must say, to buy down here. But you're always scalping to here for the preliminary, and then, yeah. But these markets they're gonna come unwrapped in some direction or other. I've won and lost millions. Really, no, it's actually billions. I've won and lost billions. I forgot to tell this guy, but I want to disclose my financials on YouTube. Just funny that way. It's actually billions. I'm the secret underground trader that lives in the underground vault in the underground world. Buy at the market. Buy as the market's plunging. Absolutely. Always making money on that trade, and I got a script for that. I got an app for that, and I'm constantly running those. And I'm going to post. I guess I had to post a demo. And this is where people want proof. Once again, I'm just notice I'm not asking anybody to subscribe. I'm not asking anybody to click and like me, because I hate the whole idea of a like button. Makes me spit up a little bit in my mouth. Kind of reminds me of Facebook. So I'm not looking for that. I'm an iconoclast. I'm a contrarian. I'm contradictory only from the sense that, well, I think the contradiction comes in. I'm trying to trying to communicate with traders that have a template in their heads. So stuck with the language. By every pip, as you said in one video, yeah, in one video that's correct. If you are going to buy, say you're a scalper, and you're on the 5-minute chart, and for you the market's this. And this is every pip. And this, because you can't do this on the guppy so much, right? Don't try this on the guppy. I guess I forgot the what do they call it? The disclaimer. Although at certain times this is a great, this is fine because why not buy every pip? If you're going to buy a 10K at the market, why not just buy a 1K at the market and put 10 pip and buy all the other 9 pips down here with a master stop? You're going to put a master stop on this first mini lot, aren't you? So think about that. I don't know what people are thinking, but first time I bought a mini lot at the market, and I was in the market pulled back because I bought. They probably saw that I bought, because they manipulated. And it came back there. I was like, wow, man, I could just bought a 1K here and now you watch the market come down 20 pips and hit your 20 pip stop, and you're like, if I would have put a 25 pip stop in here and bought every 1 pip and left a 10 pips between the last entry, leave a 20 pip window here, but I accumulate during this whole pullback on a specific time frame that fits a 1 pip entry, of course. That is a scalper's for people that scalp. That's the trade. Now, as the market comes back, maybe you're out of half of the position by here, and then the rest rides to here, and the whole trade's over. In other words, you buy at the market, and you buy every 1 pip down. Market comes down, does not hit your stop, goes all the way back up, you're cashed out. Or maybe these are trend bias trades that are looking for it. You know that the market's going up, but you're expecting a 10 pip. Pull back, but it won't go more than 20. And you keep dropping that same, you keep buying one at the market every 15 minutes too. I mean, I'm surprised you didn't pick up on my completely outrageous concept of buying every fucking hour it goes down, right? You bought every hour it went down, what the fuck? Yeah, because I'm not risking 2% of my account here on every fucking entry. Hello? Besides, I got buy limits down here that correspond to some node back here. There's so many ways to get in the market. So let me go to the next point here in the okay, this now here's, you were very quiet for 2 months after Brexit. Okay, well, listen, that's cute. Well, that's because I made billions, but I lost zillions. I guess what he's saying here is that your stuff doesn't work because look, it wiped you out. You bought every pip. You probably bought every pip as the pound was dropping. Honestly, being a scalper, I don't even know. I don't think I was trading the pound during this. I was actually trading the euro. And whatever happened, it wouldn't have anything to do with the news or the Brexit. And I don't even know. I'm going to have to look at the Brexit on the chart because I don't know if you can see. It's just a trade. Like the news didn't matter. And the fact that I was quiet. Well, listen, it's too hot in this recording room. With all the computer screens and everything turned on, I'm not going to sit here and bake and do a video. And I just go outside and play, and nobody's paying me to do videos. So some guy asked me, hey, you haven't done any videos in a while, so what the fuck? So I started back again, But it's just kind of like your classic thing where people want to project their idea what's going on top of what happens. So whether I'm here or not, it's just there's a couple of people that I guess in some of my videos I'm talking to a couple of people that I know look at certain things, and I have to assume that if I did a stochastics video, now that's a common indicator a lot of people use, that people would be like, oh, let me see what his view, let me see how to trace stochastics. Of course, there's a whole pile of stuff out there where there's really intense seminars just on market profile alone. You pick any one indicator off of the list of stuff that's possible. You're talking about, oh my God, it's a bottomless pit of indicators and stuff. So my videos are about trying to rattle people's cages enough to say, well, gee, how do I know there's a Jesus Christ? Maybe we're just all here on the planet, and it's like, boom, there you go. Who knows what we're doing here? So buy as the market's plunging every pip. Of course, now this also would be in the video I was talking about. You place the buy limits in advance, so you're not buying every pip it drops. I mean, that's kind of a lot of work. You know, I dropped a pip, buy a pip, buy. You're actually pre-selecting all those orders. And of course, in my thing, these orders disappear, say, every 15 minutes, so it's not like they're stacking up. Yeah, did I blow up my account again? Well, I'm always in the process of blowing up something. You know, I'm either getting divorced or, you know, this is like anything else. Now, I think what this comment here goes along with the, you said you want to lost millions of dollars. Now, I'm going to assume this is a guy named Daryl. There's some, Daryl Hannah chick was hot. But, you know, the thing is, this is a guy thing, like, well, how much money you really making money? And but I just wondering when. So finally somebody commented about the video, but there's so much that I like. Whether I blew up my account wouldn't matter, right? It's how much money did I win or lose. So blowing your account just refers to money again. You say trading is boring. Well, yeah, of course it's boring. If you look at Asia session and you're like, damn, I wish this thing would fucking retrace. I mean, it's boring in the sense when you're trying to show somebody how to trade, and if the news came out and you're on a 1 minute chart going, okay, we're going to get in, we're going to get out, and you got all these scripts on your hotkeys, and you're just like, we're in, we're out, scalp, we're making money on a, that is not boring. But for the most part, you're looking at the charts on a daily, you're like, oh, we're waiting for this thing to come back and get in. I'll say 10 cents per pip on a demo is boring. Oh, maybe. But isn't this just money? So this is another reference to, well, unless you're trading 5 standard lots, you must not know what you're doing. Okay, well, if you have an algorithm that lets you load multiple 1Ks across 3 accounts in a grid system that's just nothing but buy every 1 pip. It goes down every 10 pips, every 100 pips. So I'm going to run that system. I run that system with real money many times, so I'm going to run a demo of that. I'm going to try to run a demo of that to prove. And, of course, you have to prove this stuff, I guess, right? It's always fun. People don't believe it. You know, it's like I feel like the Amazing Randy when it comes to trading, but I'm just trying to debunk all the bullshit and you know, that I hear out there. So when I say backtesting doesn't work, backtesting doesn't work. It doesn't work from the standpoint of, I've seen people's backtests and they're like, well, yeah, if I got in here with a ATR, my stop is on the ATR, I have a Gartley, I've got stochastics rolling over. Now I'm going to look for every instance of that. Problem is, unless you scalp something out of these trades, you're not going to make any fucking money. I mean, you're just going to, you have to have such a, when I say backtesting, I'm talking about you wrote a one-trick pony and he can only do one trick. Now you're going to backtest him on that, and you're going to put X amount of dollars in the account, and you come back and then you're going to say, look, it works. It's proven that it works in history. Well, God's sakes, man. A 20 pip stop to make 40 pips works all day long. Okay, unless there's bad slippage, that works all day long. You know the ratio. And they would say to you, you don't even have to be right. You can be right 60% of the time and make $1 million or $1 billion. So why you have to backtest that? I'm just back viewing. I'm looking at in this. So who called me? Who called you Mr. Hindsight is Jason. Mr. Jason just did a whole video about the retracement of. I'm going to put his link in here. In the bottom of this video, he just did a whole thing about how he lost money on this. And he was, well, you know, the thing is, the problem is using Fibonacci, but I'm going to do the Fibonacci extensions instead of the retracements. I'll show you how that works. He never called out one trade on his video. He didn't say, well, you got to put your limits in here. You're going to have to, here's your volatility. You're going to get in here. But it's to sell at the market, sell on the clock, look at this chart, place your limits here, put a stop here, put a cluster in. You got to scalp something out of this. You can't live off of just these stupid ass Disneyland trades that these people pick. How long are you going to live? I got to be trading every week on the 4-hour chart for a setup for entry. You're in. You're out. It's very complicated. Very complicated if you trade more than one ticket, and life's complicated, and these guys are trying to give you this system like, oh, you just got the fib, break out the fib. As soon as you break out that fib, you've already lost perspective. The market can't see your fib. It doesn't know if fib exists. If you don't like criticism, but that's all you do. I love criticism. I can't wait to hear this guy, but I'm going to answer you back. Doesn't mean I don't like it, because it only proves to me the more criticism I hear, the more I know I'm on the right track. In fact, if I saw a bunch of thumbs down, I go, oh my God, I fucking hit gold, right? People agree with me. That's kind of a problem right there. Being a contrarian to the contrarian of a contrarian. In other words, if you're going to be a complete bitch about everything, which I'm always bitching in my head about stuff, I'm driving down the road going, why the fuck, who designed that car? Jesus. Go back to the old wing cars, go back to the old cruisers, for God's sake. But that's all you do? Of course it's all I do. But only because I'm a perfectionist. I'm always criticizing myself and trying to... And yeah, after 30 years, probably for the, as far as figure out, I don't know what he means here. In other words, I think he means make money. But, no, I figured it out. But I'm not trying to figure it out. I'm only trying to figure out, I guess, kind of in a fundamental way, like I'm trying to figure out why, why does the fundamentalist not be able to pick the direction and the entries and stuff? Or this should be a good price fundamentally because we've done the statistics. But I guess I'm astounded by the dynamics of the market. So just like I'm always trying to play the markets. I don't think I'm always trying to figure it out. I'm always trying to play the market. I'm trying to write a script that fits. Probably, I'd say figure out the best script for the best scenario. That's what I'm trying to figure out. The best script for the best scenario. Mark Douglas would have smiled at your videos. God, I hope so. Love him to death. There's nothing this guy says other than he's very demanding of his audience to see where he's going. He seems to want... Your charts are very ugly. Well, thank you very much. Now, I know they got to be ugly because I basically stripped the market down to... I don't know if you watch these movies where there's some hot chick and she gets killed and you just see her as a skeleton and you're like, holy fuck, I wouldn't hit that for all the tea in China. Look at how she's just a bunch of bones in the end. Well, that's because I'm running a 1 period moving average. I'm looking at the kick drum of the music. Like if you just soloed the kick drum on a playback of any piece of music, you'd be like, that is so boring, that is so stupid. That's all I'm doing. And then so yeah, they're definitely ugly, and they're meant to be ugly. I could pretty them up. I sure could pretty them up for you. And I could do I've seen some charts. I should put a link to the one for the guy out of France. Oh my God, it looked like a painting of pastels. It's gorgeous. You say people complain about market noise, and that's where the money is made. Yeah, what I'm talking about there is that the money's made in market noise from, and it depends what time frame you're on. So if you're on a, say this is a 1 hour doji, and when bullish or bearish, fill in the blank, but if you have a trolling buy limit, and there's nothing wrong with trolling in the markets. I know they kind of frown on that. It's paying a lot of rent, these trollers are paying, in this case there's a robot troller. So you're trolling, you just have your orders out there and you catch some fish, and so yeah, this noise here, in other words, the accumulation distribution phase is before we make a jump the creek and Wyckoff method. If you look up Wyckoff trading. And so, yeah, there's a bunch of money. Those market makers are making that money in that noise. Now, this could be a monthly chart, and this could be a week or a daily chart of just garbage. And I think what he's talking about here is that the reason I'm complaining about that is because the trend traders are saying that that's just noise, but that's their flag to get in. If the market comes up and goes into a noise zone, goes up, but one man's noise is another man's entry, because depending on time frame and scale and which currency pair and what the spread is. But I use Akinashi. Well, of course, I'm doing this for the people that do trade Hakanashi. Now, if I'm on a 5-minute Hakanashis, I basically say to myself, so say this is the 5-minute Hakanashi, it's almost like looking at the 30-minute chart, because I'm only going to see this peak and this low. It's going to filter that out. Yeah, I'm going to filter that. So how much filtering do you do now? When you record music, you probably want to go down raw. Like, there's raw files in these high-end cameras, these 4K raw files done in video form. And then, but isn't that, you're going to take, why would you record all that stuff if you didn't, like, there's some noise in there. Well, once you Hakanashi it, you're basically compressing it. And you're saying, okay, let's take this down to a reasonable level. And as soon as you do that, you're going to get more color depth, because all the little noise in there is making up the big picture. It's taking away the pixelation of shading. So now your transitions are going to be twice as fine between shading, because you are going to use that 4K and take it down to a standard 1280. But you're going to see the depth of 4K, even though you're coming down to 1280, because you're going to have a dither that's smaller in there. The shading's going to be, they still have the same information, but you can still trade. The raw data, you're trading that raw data. Now, if you go to the 1-minute chart, yeah, okay, the spread's too wise, and then the noise is going to be a problem. So your noise floor is determined by the spread of the instrument you're trading. Just like if you're playing a guitar and you don't have to turn it up loud enough, nobody's going to hear what you're playing. There's no melody. There's no price action. The price action is the melody of the market, the song it's playing, and it gets to a certain area. And if the market's trading sideways, it's in a, say this is the verse. And then the chorus is the breakout. Everybody wants to trade the chorus. Everybody wants to trade the trend from their point of view. This guy's obviously, I'm thinking he's a trend trader, but yeah, I mean, it's just, I'm trying to just be what I'm an iconoclast. I'm trying to say that the Fibonacci is a religion. The Gartleys and all this stuff is really, nothing can compete with, and I do say this all the time, the same over and over again, that tops become bottoms and bottoms become tops. And this is the place where you're going to get in. Now, if you do not want to babysit the market, when the market's down here, you put your sell limit in here. And if you want to get in on confirmation, your sell stops are stacking up here. But yes, you are selling every pip on limits all the way up into this. In other words, you're letting the market prove you right. If you think this is the place to sell, don't you want to scale into that? I mean, the perfect trading one size or trading on one ticket is really setting yourself up for, maybe you're not going to fill. I mean, you could just go back and look at these things where these people missed their entry by 3 pips over there. It disempowered trading. Maybe this doesn't pull all the way back to this limit. This is why you have the sell limits every pip as you creep up in. Maybe this is a half-hour chart. Maybe this is the euro, which can quietly drift up 12 pips or 14 and a half, what have you, yeah, you're selling every pip as it goes up. And maybe this grid disappears. You got to realize I'm not selling anything, so I'm just posting stuff here, and I'm posting scripts, and it's not like people are running, like, unless you're charging for something, and of course that's just too much to manage. So I'm inherently lazy. I think right off the day I was born, I was just like, really, I got to do that. So I didn't ask to be here, but but a part of me has to do these videos because it's just too much fun, making fun of how people are stuck in belief systems. So really, that's why Mark Douglas is my hero, because it's all about your belief system, and you can see somebody's belief system and the way they reference things. So, and I would love to hear all the criticism that people have about. Well, that's enough. That's enough. You get the picture. Yeah, and of course it's got to be a guy. It can't be Daryl Hannah from she's hot. So, you know, you get the picture. Guys are pattern oriented. They're visual traders, and but I've done even more than Hakanashi. I've got a whole site. I got a whole, not site. It's a Google Plus thing that's attributed to ultra smooth. In other words, smoothing upon smoothing upon smoothing. And all these things that you use, you still need, and this is why Mark Douglas is once again come back to that, because it's all about execution. You can analyze these markets all day long. The people that aren't trading this, when this guy says, did you get in there? I don't see these other guys saying they're going to get in there. I did a whole thing. If you go back, and this is the one that Jason from Australia was bitching about. You go back to all those calls were just 80% killers, counter trend moves. I'm not a big trend trader, but counter trend to me is and that's where the probability comes in. There's an edge there. You can go with the trend after the counter trend trade. I just said in the last video, go counter trend trade. But yeah, I'm looking to get a now I'm disorganized, so that's a real problem to try to set up, and I've been frustrated by the fact that every time I run this one FX book inside of MetaTrader, I keep on having a hard time getting it to connect, and there's literally there's not a phone to call to say, why doesn't this fucking thing, and it's too much work. I found another site that does keeps track of your trades. I think I might have put that in a link on this account that I blew up, this demo account where I was trading it. I did a video where I was showing how to trade that. I actually show how to trade, and then I just launched a bunch of random scripts that I wrote, just said, well, let's see what the fuck happens. But you have to see what the fuck happens. If you stick to this, I'm just saying, for me, apparently not for most people, they want to know, they want to see the owner's manual to the car they bought. Well, let me see what this car does. I'm like, holy fuck, really? I just get in the car and drive it. So maybe it's not a good idea, because maybe I'm going to crash the car, or I'm going to be like that poor 80-year-old guy that his son leaves him in the car while he goes in the store. It gets too hot in his Corvette. He can't get out of the fucking Corvette. Thing costs $80,000. Can't get out because there's a special exit. You have hit a button under the seat, and he doesn't know where the button's at. And see it by he just 80, 90 years old guy dies in the Corvette. So, maybe he should have read the owner's manual. He's old enough to know better, right? He was also one of these probably old school guys. Hey, I want to see the... But then there's people like me that are just basically, I just don't have a filter. I just say what I think, and I don't know. I'm just trying to kind of question the standard operating procedure that everybody's assumed to be like, this is what you do, and trying to look at different ways to make money that aren't about some moving average crossover system and all this stuff, because you can build a robot to do. You can buy a robot that trades on a moving average, and you could actually conceivably take that robot and adjust it to the ATRs and say, well, we're going to change our moving averages, and we're going to go to a tighter moving average because the ATRs have dropped and there's not many pips to be made. Let's adjust the targets on the robot. But the script trading kind of is better in a way, because they're all you put complex strategies on one key, hit one button. It's a one-time execution of, say, buying every 100 pips the market plunges. So you can go back, and I did a dollar CAD video where I said, yeah, you're selling every 100 pips it goes up. Now, the most money that's been made, Jack Schwaggart interview with a guy that just contrarian trades and just makes a mint. So, but I'd be curious to see. I guess I can see what this guy's view of the market is. But like I've been repeating lately in my videos, yeah, Mark Douglas says you don't know. And this took me a long time to get to that. It took me probably, just now that I'm experimenting with, now that you can trade these markets without calling up a broker and waiting to some person to get on the phone and have to spell out them explicitly, and while you're telling them your order the market's moving. So you can actually execute. You can be a high-frequency trader these days out of the comfort of your own home. So I don't think, it's... I'm just trying to speak to people that I guess have been brainwashed, thinking that, oh, well, you got to do this and that, and this has got to happen, and that's got to happen. And I guess I'm just... frustrated by the cliche and the standard operating procedures and the conventional wisdom. There's no innovation in conventional wisdom for me. And some people have, I've sent people, like 2 years ago when I first started doing these videos, some guy said, hey, can you send me? And I sent him everything I ever wrote at that time for free. I sent him every script I wrote. I don't know if he... you still have to have a clue as which script is appropriate for which situation, but if you sense that the market's going to plunge, yeah, why wouldn't you just pepper the lower range of any chart and just get in a range and just let the market fill you up and let it retrace and let that retrace strategy play out, There's a lot of reasons people wouldn't do that, and it's built on the predicting direction view of the market. So buying every pip as it drops down, if you're in an uptrend on the 5-minute chart, if you're in a your uptrend on the daily and the market's quiet, you are making money. In fact, the noise is your entry too. And that's where the money's made, the noise. In other words, complain about people do complain about the market noise, and just trade the noise. That's where the money is made. Yeah, why not? And of course, this is, like I said here, I'm speaking to the but just because you're trading Hakanashi, let me just try to put this together for this guy. Say Hakanashi says buy. Hakanashi's color never changes. And you can also see it's going up. But Hakanashi's going to smooth out the tails for you. You're going to have bigger wicks, but they're fake wicks. They're not the actual lows. So what if you wrote a script that buys every bullish Hakanashi because it's an uptrend, which I hate that trade personally because I feel like I'm chasing. But let's not commit the whole account to one entry. And then we run trailing buy limits that do buy every 1 pip every 15 minutes behind this. And it's got to stop. And maybe you're buying on stops too, but not too much on the stops because they typically trap you and pull you back. So am I not buying the market noise behind me? There's noise. Every market has noise. It just depends what perspective you're staring at the market at. If you're on the monthly chart, the daily looks like noise. But that is where the money's made. That's where the market makers are making their money. And that's the trap trade. And they are trapping people. When it dives 10 pips and you fill up a 10K, don't think that there aren't people buying into that are looking for that 10 pip bounce. They bought every 10 pips. And why wouldn't, am I backtesting when I look at that? I guess I'm just looking at it saying, can you see something where the weather's calm, and then do you think that at some point there could be a storm coming? So whether it's a rainstorm or a snowstorm, depending on what you're in, that's your edge, right? Your edge is like your volatility breakout trading. But I don't know. I'd like to see what I want to see this guy's video of how you're supposed to trade. It's the way you get in is so critical. Making a good call, knowing the market's going up, does no good if your stops are too tight and you just keep getting stopped out along the way because of the noise. So the noise is your friend for limit entries on the way up. I don't know if that helps.